You walk through life, seeing the faces of countless individuals, yet only a handful truly etch themselves into the unforgiving stone of your memory. Why? What arcane craft do these rare souls possess that makes them utterly unforgettable, while legions fade into the gray static of the mundane? You spend your days seeking connection, recognition, perhaps even validation, yet often you feel unseen, unheard, a ripple quickly absorbed by the vast ocean. You strive, you speak, you perform, but do you truly leave a mark? Or are you, like so many, merely a temporary placeholder in the minds of others, easily replaced, easily forgotten? Think of the conversations where your words were swallowed by the din, the moments where your presence barely registered. Consider the gnawing anxiety that your efforts are in vain, that your authentic self remains perpetually undiscovered, that your impact is as fleeting as a breath on a cold morning. You crave to be someone who resonates, someone whose very essence lingers long after they depart. Yet you find yourself trapped in patterns of behavior that betray this deepest desire. You play the roles others expect, you chase the fleeting applause, you react precisely as predicted, and in doing so, you erase yourself. But what if the very things you've been taught to pursue, constant focalization, immediate reaction, endless explanation, hunger for external praise, are precisely the chains that bind you to oblivion? What if the path to becoming an indelible force in the lives of others, and more importantly, in your own, lies not in striving harder, but in mastering the ancient, almost forbidden arts of internal power? This is not a guide to manipulation, nor a shallow trick to gain fleeting popularity. This is an invitation to reclaim your inherent authority, to cultivate a presence so profound, so authentically rooted, that it becomes impossible to dismiss, impossible to forget. We are about to unlock the forgotten wisdom of the Stoics, not as dusty philosophy, but as a living arsenal, a secret weapon for navigating the psychological battlegrounds of the modern world. Prepare to disarm the expectations of others, to become a fortress of self-possession, and to leave an imprint that time itself struggles to erase. Here are the 6 things truly unforgettable people master, not for the sake of being remembered, but for the sake of living a life of unshakable integrity and profound impact. Why do you constantly feel drained, exposed, and easily manipulated? Because you give them precisely what they expect. You react on cue. You defend your every move. You pour your emotional energy into every empty vessel that demands it. You are a puppet on strings, and they, the unseen puppeteers, pull with effortless grace. How many times have you walked away from an argument, not victorious, but empty, knowing you gifted your opponent the very reaction they craved? How often do you find your peace shattered by the echoes of a petty slight, a dismissive glance, a cutting remark? You are an open book, and the world reads your pages with casual indifference, then discards you. You yearn to be respected, to command presence, yet you repeatedly surrender your power by speaking when silence is a thunderclap, by reacting when stillness is a weapon. The deep, unsettling truth is that your constant need to explain, to justify, to be understood is precisely why you remain misunderstood and ultimately forgettable. This cycle of emotional drain and self-erasure ends today. The ancient wisdom of Stoicism offers not merely a philosophy, but a sophisticated strategic blueprint for reclaiming your inner citadel. It provides the tools to transform your vulnerabilities into impenetrable armor, to turn your perceived weaknesses into the very source of your magnetic, unforgettable presence. This is not about being cold or indifferent. It is about cultivating an internal authority so potent that your very stillness becomes a statement, your selective engagement an act of power. Stoicism is the forgotten martial art for the mind, teaching you to fight not with aggression, but with profound self-control, discerning wisdom, and an unshakable inner core. The unforgettable trait 1, the master of silence. You are conditioned to respond, to react, to fill every silence with words, every confrontation with defense. When provoked, your instinct screams for immediate retaliation, for a biting retort, a furious justification. You believe your words are your shield, your explanations your defense. But in reality, every word you utter under duress is a gift to your provocator, a clue to your weaknesses, a validation of their power over you.
You reveal your hand, expose your raw nerves, and diminish your own gravitas with every emotional outburst, every hurried explanation, every desperate plea for understanding. You exhaust yourself in verbal battles you were never meant to win, because the victory they seek is your reaction itself, your shattered composure, your lost peace. Truly unforgettable people understand that silence is not absence. It is a profound presence, a strategic weapon, and a shield of impenetrable calm. When others cast their hooks, they expect you to bite. When they set traps of provocation, they anticipate your predictable lunge. Deny them the satisfaction. Your silence in the face of their noise is a declaration of sovereignty, a refusal to play their game. It forces them to confront their own emptiness, their own aggression, their own desperation for a reaction. It leaves them exposed, unnerved, and deeply uncertain of their next move, because you have broken their script. Your stillness becomes a mirror, reflecting their chaos back upon them. This is not about aloofness, but absolute control. As the wise Epictetus warned us, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind has assented to the provocation. For the next 7 days, when confronted with a petty slight, a blatant provocation, or an unfair accusation, pause. Instead of immediately speaking, breathe deeply and simply observe the other person. Let their words hang in the air, unanswered. Watch their discomfort grow, their resolve falter, their true motives surface. Practice this until your initial impulse to react is replaced by a conscious choice to remain silent, thereby reclaiming your emotional battlefield and forcing them to confront the chilling power of your unwavering composure. Do not give them the satisfaction of your outburst. Give them the disorienting silence of your strength. The unforgettable trait 2, the unmoved rock in the storm. Your emotional life feels like a leaky bucket, constantly draining its precious contents onto the arid ground of trivial concerns. You are easily swayed by the shifting winds of external events, the fleeting moods of others, the minor inconveniences of daily existence. Every slight becomes a deep wound, every disagreement a personal affront, every setback a catastrophic failure. You pour your finite emotional energy into defending your ego in pointless debates, ruminating over past grievances, or worrying about future uncertainties entirely beyond your control. This ceaseless expenditure leaves you depleted, perpetually exhausted, with nothing left for genuine growth, profound connection, or the pursuit of your true purpose. You are a ship adrift, tossed by every passing wave, remembering little of the journey, leaving no trace. Unforgettable individuals treat their emotional energy as their most guarded, finite resource, an emotional budget.
They understand that every ounce of anger, worry, jealousy, or resentment spent on things outside their control is an investment in their own misery and a tax on their personal growth. They consciously choose where to invest their emotional capital, reserving it for deep work, meaningful relationships, and the cultivation of inner virtue. They do not engage in every argument, do not internalize every criticism, do not chase every fleeting desire. They build an inner fortress, carefully monitoring the gates of their mind, allowing only what serves their highest good to enter. They are not indifferent, they are strategically discerning, preserving their power for the battles that truly matter, making them unshakable and profoundly impactful. Seneca, ever practical, implored us to understand the true cost of our emotional expenditures. A man is as unhappy as he thinks he is. For 1 full week, before reacting to any situation that triggers a negative emotion, anger, frustration, envy, ask yourself, is this truly worthy of my emotional budget? Quantify it. Am I willing to spend 10% of my daily emotional capacity on this traffic jam, on this dismissive comment, on this minor inconvenience? If the answer is no, consciously withdraw that energy, refuse to engage. Redirect that saved emotional capital into a productive activity, deep work, meditation, a meaningful conversation, or a physical challenge. Witness how this disciplined conservation transforms your energy levels and sharpens your focus, forging an inner resilience that others cannot help but admire and remember. The unforgettable trait 3, the self-sufficient soul. You live in a gilded cage, its bars forged from the desperate need for external validation. Your sense of self-worth ebbs and flows with the tide of approval or disapproval from others. A compliment elevates you to the heavens, a criticism plunges you into the depths of self-doubt. You tailor your opinions, your behaviors, even your dreams to chase the fleeting warmth of applause, the fleeting nod of acceptance. You hide your true self, your authentic desires, your deepest fears, all to fit into the molds created by others' expectations. This constant hunger for recognition, this incessant craving for praise, makes you pliable, predictable, and ultimately, profoundly forgettable. Because you are never truly you. You are merely a reflection of what others wish to see, a shadow without substance. Unforgettable people understand that words of praise are a seductive trap, a soft leash that binds you to the opinions of others. They receive compliments with grace, but never internalize them as the source of their worth. They cultivate an inner barometer, an unshakable sense of self-respect derived from their own virtuous actions, their own disciplined efforts, their own commitment to integrity. They hide their hunger for recognition, not out of arrogance, but out of a profound understanding that external validation is a fickle master. Their confidence is not loud or performative. It is quiet, rooted, and impervious to the winds of public opinion. This unwavering authenticity, this self-contained power, makes them utterly unmanipulable and therefore profoundly memorable. They are not chasing the world's approval. They are simply being, and that very being radiates an indelible force. As Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, wisely observed, if you are pained by any external thing, it is not the thing itself that troubles you, but your judgment about it. And it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now. For the next month, consciously practice detaching from both praise and criticism. When someone compliments you, acknowledge it politely, but internally remind yourself, my worth is not determined by their words, but by my actions and character. When criticized, listen for any kernel of truth, but refuse to let it define your entire being. Journal about instances where you caught yourself seeking validation or fearing disapproval. actively pursue one task, one project, one decision, purely because it aligns with your internal values, regardless of whether it will gain external approval. Cultivate the quiet satisfaction of a job well done for its own sake, rather than for the applause. In doing so, you will build an inner core so strong that others will remember your unwavering self-possession long after their own fleeting judgments have faded. The unforgettable trait 4, the master of strategic exit. You cling to dead-end relationships, toxic environments, and draining commitments, paralyzed by the fear of being alone, of causing offense, of being labeled a quitter. You feel obligated to explain your every departure, to provide closure where none is truly deserved, to appease those who have already shown you disrespect or indifference. You believe that staying, enduring, or constantly seeking reconciliation makes you virtuous, but it often makes you a doormat, a perpetual victim, and a person whose boundaries are easily violated. Your constant presence, even in unhealthy spaces, diminishes your value, making your contributions and eventually your very being easily taken for granted. You stay, and in doing so, you become a static, easily dismissed fixture. Truly unforgettable people possess the profound wisdom to know when to walk away. They understand that sometimes the most powerful action is no action at all. No explanation, no dramatic farewell, no pleas for understanding. They realize that their absence, their quiet departure, can be a message far louder and more impactful than any words. They are not afraid to sever ties with what drains their spirit, understanding that their time and energy are sacred. This art of strategic exit is a powerful declaration of self-respect, a clear boundary that says, "My peace is non-negotiable." Their refusal to engage in protracted farewells or desperate explanations leaves a void, a question mark, and a deep, unsettling impact on those left behind. Their value is underscored not by their constant presence, but by their discerning, powerful absence. As the often misunderstood but profoundly wise Seneca noted, "Cease to hope, and you will cease to fear." This applies equally to clinging to hope for change in irredeemably broken situations. Identify one relationship, one commitment, or one habit that you know deep down is draining your energy, compromising your values, or holding you back, yet you continue to cling to it out of fear or obligation. Over the next month, consciously prepare for a strategic exit. This doesn't necessarily mean a dramatic confrontation. It could mean reducing your engagement, setting firm boundaries with zero explanations, or quietly stepping back from a group chat. The key is to detach emotionally before physically removing yourself. When the time comes to leave, do so with quiet dignity. Do not offer lengthy justifications or seek closure from those who have consistently disrespected your boundaries. Let your absence speak volumes. Experience the surge of freedom and self-respect that comes from reclaiming your agency, and observe how your quiet departure leaves a lasting impression far more powerful than any loud argument. The unforgettable trait 5, the Adversity Alchemist. You dread hardship. You actively avoid discomfort, pain, and challenge, viewing them as unwanted intruders, disruptions to your carefully constructed comfort zone. When adversity strikes, you feel victimized, overwhelmed, and often collapse under the weight of it. You see obstacles as roadblocks, not as training grounds. You lament your misfortunes, dwelling on the unfairness of life, believing that a smooth path is the only path to happiness. This aversion to difficulty leaves you brittle, unprepared for the inevitable storms of life, and entirely forgettable in your struggles because you offer no example of resilience, no demonstration of strength forged in fire. You remain an unfinished, untested version of yourself. Unforgettable individuals do not merely tolerate suffering, they embrace it as a vital forge for their character. They understand that pain, difficulty, and setback are not punishments, but raw materials for growth, opportunities to test their mettle, and catalysts for profound self-discovery. Through the practice of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, they mentally prepare for the worst-case scenarios, not to dwell in pessimism, but to strip misfortune of its power to surprise and overwhelm. When adversity inevitably strikes, they do not crumble, they transform it. They ask not, "Why me?" but "What is this teaching me? How can I use this to become stronger, wiser, more virtuous?" They turn lead into gold, fear into fuel, making their resilience an awe-inspiring, indelible beacon in the darkest hours. Remember the searing wisdom of Seneca. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Identify a current challenge or a past setback that still haunts you. Instead of lamenting it, consciously shift your perspective. Ask yourself, what specific virtue, patience, courage, resilience, resourcefulness did this situation force me to develop or strengthen? Or, how can I deliberately expose myself to a controlled form of discomfort, e.g., cold shower, fasting, intense workout, tackling a difficult project, this week to build my mental fortitude? Then, for 1 week, actively seek out and lean into a minor discomfort or challenge that you would normally avoid. Do not complain. Do not seek sympathy. Just endure, learn, and grow. Practice premeditatio malorum daily by spending 5 minutes visualizing a minor setback or challenge you might face and mentally rehearsing a calm, stoic response. You will discover that true strength is not the absence of pain, but the capacity to transform it. And in doing so, you will etch your indomitable spirit into the minds of all who witness your transformation. The Unforgettable Trait 6, the Unblinking Observer of Truth. You are easily swayed by polished words, sweet promises, and captivating narratives. You listen intently to what people say they will do, what kind of person they claim to be, what ideals they profess. You build your trust, your expectations, and your perception of others based on these fleeting verbal declarations. But time and again, you are met with disappointment, betrayal, and disillusionment because you fail to see the gaping chasm between rhetoric and reality. You are perpetually caught off guard by hypocrisy, by inconsistency, by the true, often darker intentions revealed only in the quiet, unobserved actions of others. You believe the performance, not the true character, making you vulnerable, naive, and easily forgotten because you lack the discerning eye that sees the world as it truly is. Unforgettable individuals possess the rare and potent ability to see beyond the mask, to listen past the words, and to focus solely on the undeniable language of consistent behavior. They understand that a person's true character is not revealed in their grand pronouncements or their emotional appeals, but in their small, daily, often unobserved actions. How they treat those who can do nothing for them, how they respond under pressure, how they honor their commitments when no one is watching. They are not cynical, they are profoundly realistic. They evaluate trustworthiness, integrity, and competence based on a rigorous audit of actions, not a superficial survey of words. This unwavering focus on verifiable truth makes them wise counselors, shrewd judges of character, and deeply respected individuals who cannot be fooled, manipulated, or easily dismissed. Their insights are sharper, their trust is earned, and their presence commands a reverence rooted in their unwavering perception of reality. Let us heed the timeless counsel of Epictetus, who saw through all facades. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. For the next month, make a conscious effort to mute the words and amplify the actions of those around you. When someone makes a promise, offers an excuse, or declares their virtue, simply note it. Then observe their subsequent behavior without judgment or expectation. Does their behavior align with their words consistently and reliably? Pay particular attention to patterns over time. Before making a decision based on someone's claims, ask yourself, what have their past actions shown me? Practice this until you can instinctively distinguish between what is spoken and what is truly demonstrated. You will quickly discover who is authentic and who is merely performing, gaining an invaluable discernment that protects your peace, guides your judgment, and establishes you as a person of profound, unforgettable wisdom. You have now been armed with the blueprint of the truly unforgettable. You understand that the path to leaving an indelible mark lies not in chasing external validation or reacting to every provocation, but in cultivating an unshakable inner core. You've learned to wield silence as a weapon, to guard your emotional energy as sacred, to detach from the seductive allure of praise, to master the art of strategic departure, to transform adversity into an alchemical crucible, and to see the world through the unblinking eyes of truth. These are not mere tips, they are the ancient, timeless virtues of self-mastery, the very essence of Stoicism applied to the raw, visceral reality of human interaction. This is your chance to stop being a ghost in your own life and to become a force of nature. Remembered not for your theatrics, but for your profound, unyielding substance. If you have truly absorbed these lessons, if you feel the stirring of a deeper power within you, then you are ready. You are ready to transcend the fleeting, the trivial, and the forgettable. You are ready to live a life of impact, of integrity, and of unshakable presence. If you have ready to step on this path, subscribe to Stoic in the City to forge your resilience amidst the urban chaos. Don't just watch, become a part of this community.